If you have an interview this year, be it for a job, dentistry or medicine, chances are it's going to be online. Hi, I'm Zaeem. I'm a 4th year dental student at King's College London, currently the best dental school in the world. And today I'm going to talk about online interviews and how you can actually come across confident, do all the things and all the ways you were going to impress them in a real interview in an online interview. Now the transition is awkward, it's weird, but hopefully by the end of this video you'll know a couple tips and tricks on how to come across confident in an online interview. The first thing you do, as anyone would know, you walk in, you smile, you introduce yourself, and then you offer to shake their hand. You can't do that in an online interview. So instead, to come across friendly, maybe you could just do a bit of a wave or anything like that, smile and just say hi. That'll be more than enough. Secondly, I'm going to talk about eye contact. Now, where do I look in an online interview? Now, watch this. The webcam will be up here. The screen will be down here. If I'm talking here and talking about why I want to do dentistry and medicine and all these things, I don't look as engaged. It's hard for you to really feel like I'm connected to you. But then if I do this and I talk to you like this, all of a sudden you're more inclined to listen. As you're talking, make sure to look at the webcam. Now obviously you don't want to completely ignore the interviewers. Don't look at them and look here the entire time. You might look a bit, crazy. Try to speak to the webcam, but obviously don't ignore the interviewers too. As you're talking, you want to see the feedback that they're giving. If they're sitting there like this, or if they're smiling and nodding, they'll do these things on purpose. Keep it natural, but just remember to look into the webcam sometimes. Be mindful of looking away. Now, if you're doing this all the time, it makes you look like you're reading off notes, and obviously you don't want that at all. It's okay to look off a little bit if you're thinking and then come back, but if you're going to look like this the entire time as you're talking, then people are going to think you got like some kind of notes up there or something. You don't want that, so just be mindful of where your eyes go. So that's eye contact. Secondly, taking a second to breathe before you give your answer. Now this is advice I always give. You can actually get away with it more in an online interview than you can in a real one. The reason why I say that is because there's always slight lag or time delay. I would always say take a second to breathe. Don't worry about it being awkward, but it'll be even less awkward in an online interview. It can be justified as lag. So yeah, take a second before you give your answer. It's more forgivable in an online interview than it is in a real one, even though it's very forgivable in a real one as well. Thirdly, dress fully suited. Now, keyword fully. Don't wear like a blazer, tie, and then just like shorts underneath or be in your boxers. You want to dress into your full attire. Now the reason why I say this is because you want to get into the zone. You want to get into the right mind frame for your interview. And obviously if you're wearing shorts and your body associates those type of clothes with comfort, it's difficult for you to bring out the best in yourself. So dress fully suited head to toe. I would even take it as far and say put on some perfume. Why not? Just get yourself really in the zone. It's tough. Giving an interview at home, bringing out your professional side, it's not easy. Going out into the university, there's a whole aura behind it, there's a whole environment. You almost get psyched as you go to the interview. You look left and right, you see other candidates. This whole sort of build up that happens that really gets you into that mindset that, yo, this is like a competitive place, I need to kill this interview. It doesn't happen in an online one. You're going to give an interview, possibly the most important interview of your life, on the same device you watch Netflix on. It's not easy to get into the right mindset at home. Do as much as you can to get yourself into the right mindset of giving an interview. That'll help if you're fully dressed head to toe. Thirdly, clean up your background. I'm a massive hypocrite because I didn't do that in the last video. I had some cups at the back, but I did it this time. Clean up your background, it looks messy. Now I've done some mock interviews online and I always tend to notice the participant's background. Now I don't actively look for it and mark them down if I don't like the color of their curtains, but subconsciously it makes an impact on the impression that I get without realizing. Remember, when it comes to setting a good impression, it's everything from head to toe, from the way you smile, everything is included. So on an online interview, this time it may be your bedroom as well. So just be a bit conscious of your background, make sure it's not cluttered or anything. The next thing I would say is actually be a bit conscious of lighting. Now I've actually heard some stories of some people who are buying lighting equipment to make sure that their lighting is good in Zoom calls. Now I think that's too far. Just be a bit conscious and see if there's any natural daylight in your house that you could sit next to, if it's like a window or just anywhere that's a bit well lit. It will just help your image look that much better in interviews. The next one, if you're using your laptop, keep it on charge. Please don't be one of those people who are so dependent on the battery. You don't want to see a low battery sign halfway through an interview. It will throw you off so much. Even if you do connect your charger slightly halfway through the interview, it will throw you off. So keep your laptop on charge. You never know when anything could happen. You want to absolutely minimize any distractions during your interview. You don't want to have to worry about charge. So keep your laptop on charge. Even if it's full battery, keep your laptop on charge. Actually, and another tip that I'd say as well is if you're like me and your Wi-Fi is super unreliable, if you've got a data plan that's got a lot of data in it and you know that your data is more reliable than your Wi-Fi, switch to it. If that's not the case, if your Wi-Fi is fine and it's more reliable than your data is, then stay on your Wi-Fi. But consider what the most reliable access to the internet is and stick on that. The next one I'm going to talk about is notes. You don't want to memorize answers anyway. Now in your head, if you have bullet points, that's a rough outline of the answer that you're going to say. That will help you so that your development of those points are natural. That is very different to memorizing paragraphs of answers. It's going to make you sound robotic. It's going to make you sound like someone who can't articulate themselves in an interview, and you don't want that. And it's very clear to see. Come give interview advice. Alright, so I'm not getting rid of him. So the last point I'm going to say is practice your interviews online. I've always said if you were like me and you didn't have access to many people who did dentistry or medicine, in fact hardly any, if anyone, and your best bet, which is genuinely for a lot of people, is just friends and non-academic individuals. Just grab anyone, even if it's your cat, and just practice saying your answers out loud. Okay, right, okay, no, you're going outside. If you have anyone that you know, anyone who's free, just bring them up and ask if you can practice articulating your answers to them online through a Skype call, so that when it comes to your interview on the day, the whole setup won't be unfamiliar to you. You'll get used to giving your interview online, because as I mentioned earlier, giving interviews in person, there's a whole vibe to it, and some people react negatively to that vibe. They don't like the nervousness and the tension that builds up where you walk through those halls, you look left and right, see the candidate. No, everyone's got their suit on, it's serious, like it's on now, and you know that you have to outperform and outspeak everyone in that room and more. For me, I'm quite competitive. I like that, like I really do, and it really gets me into the right mindset. So I know for myself that I would struggle in an online interview. That's everything. Those are my tips for smashing your online interview. Good luck. I've got an Instagram down below tagged. You can message me there if you have any questions. Like, I will reply. It's not like I get a million views. I can reply to everyone. So message me with any questions. Do like and subscribe obviously if this did help you, because I'm going to do a lot more content centered around this. And that's everything. I'll see you guys in the next video.